we spent, I think it was a summer, some time in the summer, going up to that studio and doing these recordings, and it was, as I understood it, now again, you know, I was not in many loops in those days. Nobody told me very much, but my understanding was that we were going to use the MGM studios to do, to work out this stuff prior to actually going into a studio and recording it. We were taping stuff. It was basically tracks and vocals and, you know, a few instrumentals in there, to sort of get organized for a recording, a regular recording session. So I wasn't surprised when they weren't, you know, my understanding was that they were never going to be used. They were they were work tapes. And that's the way I always viewed them. And then we moved to Atlantic, which is another one of Sesnick's things. I think he couldn't get any more money out of MGM, because for a long time he was charging our expenses to MGM, and he was flying first class. I mean, you know, and we all were flying first class. And the MGM finally realized that this group wasn't making a lot of money, and so they weren't going to get this money back, and kind of balked at the whole thing. So we moved to Atlantic. The songs from the demos, or the Val Valentin sessions that came out later, were some of them were just, you know, they weren't, the band didn't really click, you know, so we didn't play them live. And so we went in to do Loaded, you know, either we were doing something, we were going to record something that we were playing live, or something that was new, that was more interesting to us. Because basically, you go into a recording studio and it's you know, they say to you, what do you want to record? And you're basically going to pick from two groups, either the songs you really like, right, that you've been playing that you really like, or the songs that are new, so they're still really interesting to you. But the stuff that isn't, maybe it's not clicking for you, it's not really exciting, you know, I haven't played it enough to really get into it, you probably discard that, you know. So I suspect that's more the process by which the Loaded was assembled, you know. Some of Loaded was written in the studio, or was finished in the studio, you know, it was just spontaneous, spur of the moment stuff. But much of Lou's material was formed, much of the Velvet Underground material was formed before the Velvet Underground started, and is in some form, and he kind of morphed it out and along with the years, and you know, the group worked it, performed it. But I was surprised to learn that when I found out that historically, as you know, over the years, people asked him questions and asked other people questions and got answers, that a lot of that material was already in place when the band started. You know, stuff that wasn't done for several years was already, you know, basically formed in his mind.